not going to even try to do that.
Come on. You know, I intended to come here just to do a soft shoe with you, but
You got big soft shoes. You got giant
I do
shoes.
have
Jesus
big,
Christ,
big
you got
giant
big
soft
feet.
shoes.
Yeah. So let's call you Shrek.
Yes. Well, while we're here, let's talk to some people, specifically those people,
Okay.
the people out there that purchased the tasting menu for the Feast of Five Senses from SLC Eatery and Chef Logan Crew. And let's talk to them about the wines that we have paired, and actually the spirit as well, and we can explain why the spirit in addition to the wines, and go.
Another in the chapter, in the many chapters of the Feast of Five this year, featuring little engines that could. I love the small mom and pop restaurants that have been, struggling and working and trying hard to survive, and perhaps no softer spot do I have than I do for Salt Lake Eatery. I've worked with the staff for years and years and years, and their picks this year for the wine and the spirit are near and dear to my heart for a variety of reasons. For starters, they recommended a cocktail, and if you're not familiar with Sugar House Distillery, or if you tried them initially and you weren't keen on them, I suggest you go back and visit them again. They are extraordinary in so many different ways.
Now, we should explain just briefly. Logan has taken a very special take on this particular tasting menu in that he has endeavored to replicate, at least in feel, in vibe, the act of being at the real Feast of the Five Senses, meaning the one that we usually throw, where we're all hanging out, sitting around together, eating a tasting menu, but where it is presaged by a series of appetizers, cocktails, beers, wines, as people mingle and get to enjoy each other's company. Thus, the cocktail pairing, the mix that is coming with their menu, and this particular pairing because...
And ironically, we're also on a cart, and they have a lovely little cart concept, which is part of the feature.
We do.
Where he brings around little appetizers at the restaurant. If you haven't experienced it, you really should. Any Hoodles, Sugar House Distillers, all of their grain comes from within 200 miles of Salt Lake City. They are literally grain to glass, and they're getting to a point where they've got aged stocks, and their bourbon is hitting new heights. Every new release is an evolution in style, and the whiskeys are more and more elegant.
Very much living the slow food ethos.
Absolutely, and the one that always captured me from these guys from the get-go was their rye whiskey. I would compare it to any, even the one that rhymes with Schmeichmast. This actually, if you like whiskey, you like whiskey that tastes like the stuff it was made from. Why would you smother it in oak and wood and all this other nonsense? This stuff actually feels like you're chewing on a handful of rye grains. The balance is impeccable. The proof is there. It's got richness, it's got density, it's got flavor, and it's a great frame for any cocktail. I particularly am fond of it in Manhattan's, but I can't wait to go try it in the Smash that my dear friend Cherie Bartleson at Salt Lake Eatery designed for this event.
And really smooth on the back end too.
Oh,
no overwhelming heat in any way.
Yeah. I would put this on the table with any rye you can think of. As for the wine selections, though, in keeping with the slow food ethos, Soder Vineyards, 100% biodynamic.
Love them.
Willamette Valley, Oregon. Extraordinarily good fruit. This is their North Valley project. That is fruit they source from 5 classified AVAs within the Willamette Valley, who has been, on fire like most of the West Coast, but they do produce the world's greatest Pinot Noir, and Soder Vineyards leads the way for me with these guys. Also near and dear to my heart is Mendocino County's oldest Semillon plantings, planted by Greek migrants, Lolonis Vineyard. This is handled by a dear friend of mine, Alex McGregor, head winemaker at Saracena. It's his own label, his side hustle, as it were, called Trinifor. There's 140 cases of this made. It's in Utah and San Francisco, and that's it. This is beautiful, gorgeous fruit, tended by one of the great winemakers I know. A little bit of oak treatment, a little bit of used French oak, but that's about it. But if you're not familiar with Semillon, it has this sort of aromatic of fresh peaches and honeysuckle when it's done right. And this stuff has a gorgeous aromatic frame. It's got some mid-palate richness that's really going to complement and frame the sort of diverse menu of flavors that the chefs at Salt Lake City Eatery put together. It's such a complex menu that I have to sit there and think through it in terms of balance, richness, flavors, heat, spice. And so I want stuff that's going to frame those without interfering, be a background, be a frame and not a picture. Let's put it that way.
And that's really important, especially for the first 2 courses. for him, the first of which is basically a dim sum cart offering, right? A couple bites each of 4 different small appetizers, all of which are fresh and very texturally oriented. And then followed by the plum salad, which has some real sort of vibrant aromatic and floral qualities to it.
Yeah, I didn't want anything that was too austere, but I wanted something a little richness in flavor, but without getting that stupid oaky vanilla malolactic bullshit interruption. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that.
Follow it up with some cherrywood smoked lamb, and all will be well.
That's why we have this. What better with cherrywood smoked lamb than really good Pinot Noir?
Fabulous. Well, Francis Facteau, Libation Wine and his Potty Mouth, and I, Adam Kreisel, chef owner of Kaya Cucina Catering and Consulting, and a board member here of Slow Food Utah, bid you fine adieu. We wish you well and happy eating. Please enjoy your lovely tasting from SLC Eatery.
And since you're at home, feel free to drink irresponsibly.